Are you ready to discover?
Yes!
Are you ready to be surprised? Maybe today you'll find another brand new thing right in front of your eyes.
Wow, like this giraffe from Africa.
When you least expect it,
It's a butterfly!
you might connect with a discovery.
Watch PBS Kids every weekday and anytime you want at pbskids.org.
Guess what? The dinosaur train is headed your way.
This is so exciting!
We have to come see it! It's amazing! Well,
What are we waiting for?
Catch Dinosaur Train weekdays on PBS Kids or watch anytime you want at pbskids.org.
Miss Rosa, check out these amazing magnets. Magnets are supposed to stick together, but my amazing magnets move away from each other.
give it another try.
Maybe these amazing magnets are actually magnets.
I think you're right, Hooper. Magnets not only attract each other,
They can be real pushy too.
Listen up as Martha speaks. That Colleen really knows how to scratch an ear.
Come back in 3 months.
That's almost 2 dog ears. Martha Speaks, weekdays on PBS Kids or watch anytime you want at pbskids.org.
Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving Daddy.
Summer had dawned upon the island of Sodor, and little children had been let off from school for the summer break. They would often come to the railway and travel on passenger trains. While all passenger trains are important, some engines tend to avoid the more rambunctious passengers. James is one of them. He had a rough time with excited children and would always return to the sheds quite worn out. "Another exciting day?" asked Thomas cheekily. "Don't get me started," replied James. He didn't want any more excitement that night. "I suppose," called out Gordon, "I should be left with pulling dignified passenger trains, like the Express. And you could be put on daycare duties." James said nothing, rolling back into the shed to catch some shut-eye. The next morning, James was on Knapford Station with his trucks when the station master appeared. "The band's music bus is broken down, James," explained the station master. "They need a ride to the next station. They'll have to practice their piece for tonight's concert, so it will be noisy. Can we count on you?" "Of course you can," called out his driver. But James was not so happy with the sudden arrangement. After coupling a coach to his train, the band boarded with their instruments and the guard blew its whistle. Shortly after leaving Knapford, the band began practicing their music. Much to James' surprise, the music wasn't noisy at all. It was smooth and a piece to the ear. "No rough travels," reminded his driver. James made sure to make it a smooth ride. as well as the trucks who were also lost in the music. They soon arrived at the next station, where the band got off and thanked James. Later that night, James was surprised to see the band back at the sheds with Sir Topham Hatt. "You were a splendid engine today, James. I brought these gentlemen here to give you a surprise." "We hadn't named the piece yet," explained the leader of the band. "But let's say your trip gave us an idea." James beamed when he heard the name of the musical piece. They then began performing the same song they had practiced before. The musical piece known as the Red Splendid Engine.
Toby and Henrietta have worked together for many years, but both were getting old and in need of repairs, especially Henrietta. It was decided that she was to be sent to the works, which made Toby feel very sad. "Don't worry, Toby," Henrietta said sweetly one day as Percy came to take her away. "I'll be back soon, better than ever before." Soon they were away, and Toby was left to find other coaches in the meantime. He found a pair of old green coaches that hadn't been touched in a long time. The other engines never cared to use them. Toby soon found out why. "I say," said the leading coach, "we were having a wonderful rest until you came along." "Yes, my dear," said the other coach. "Leave us be, there's a good engine." Toby frowned. "That's a poor attitude. We've got passengers to take up the line," Toby scolded. "Now, come along." "Oh, all right, don't be such a fusspot." Toby, with great effort, dragged the coaches to the platform. The passengers filed into the compartments, and soon the train was full, much fuller than the coaches would have liked. "We're fit to burst," they cried. "Stuff and nonsense," said Toby, who was becoming rather annoyed with these old coaches. "They're only passengers after all." "Noisy, clumsy, heavy passengers," shrieked the coaches. "We'd rather be in our nice warm siding." Toby was furious. He had never met such stubborn coaches. Soon the guard's whistle came, and it was time to leave. "You can concern yourself with resting when our work is done." "We don't want to go, and you can't make us." "We'll see about that," Toby seethed. He pulled with great effort, but the coaches only crept along, their brakes squealing terribly. "Oh, oh, oh, you're hurting us," the coaches cried. Toby rolled his eyes. "Come on," Toby said, and gave another great heave. Finally, the coaches gave up, and they were on their way. The coaches came along well at first, but soon began to grumble. "Horrible engine," they said. "Menacing engine. We are delicate coaches and need our rest." Soon they started up Gordon's Hill, and the coaches became rather upset. "Too steep. We're exhausted." "Yes, we need a rest. You've strained us too much." "Not a chance," Toby said, but the coaches didn't care what he said. They turned their brakes hard on, and soon the train came to a screeching halt right in the middle of Gordon's Hill. "I can't believe it," said Toby with feeling. "I can't abide you lazy coaches." "Lazy? Lazy? We'll show you," they said. They let off their brakes, and their weight pulled Toby down the hill. Soon they settled at the bottom, leaving Toby red in the face and very cross. "Don't you look silly now," they chattered. "Who's pulling who?" The passengers had had quite enough. "Wait until the Fat Controller hears about this." The Fat Controller sat in his office drinking tea when the phone rang. "Toby, on Gordon's Hill? Right," he said, and seized his hat. When the Fat Controller arrived, he was accosted by the mob of angry passengers. "Good," the coaches sighed. "Maybe the Fat Controller will tell this silly engine to go away and let us go back to our siding." But the coaches were surprised to find that the Fat Controller and the passengers turned on them instead. "Listen very well, you two," the Fat Controller said. "Coaches who take advantage of engines and passengers are not coaches fit to work on my railway. I do not tolerate laziness." "Lazy?" the coaches fumed. "It's that matchbox tram engine you should be yelling at. He hurt us." "Good," said the Fat Controller. "Toby would never discipline coaches unless they deserved it. He did nothing wrong." The coaches were aghast. Soon, Thomas came to take the passengers the rest of the way. The coaches were taken away, and Toby slunk back to his shed feeling very silly. Henrietta returned a few days later, and Toby told her the whole story. "Those coaches behaved like common trucks," said Henrietta. I hope I never have to pull coaches like those ever again, Toby sighed. I'm glad to have you back. Toby and Henrietta were glad to be together again. After she got settled, Toby took Henrietta on a run through the countryside. As they passed the farm, Toby couldn't be sure, but he could have sworn the new hen houses looked awfully familiar.
The island of Sodor is a wonderful place. Thomas enjoys puffing all over the island. There are lots of special places to visit. Where's this? That's right, it's Gordon's Hill. Gordon's Hill is one of the great Sodor landmarks. Engines puff and engines huff, trying to climb the steep slope. And then, engines whoosh and engines whoosh as they race down the other side. It was the winter holiday season. Whichever engine finishes their job first, said Sir Topham Hatt, can pull the presents train. James was grumpy. He had to work with Edward. Edward wasn't fast enough for James. But when they got to the top of Gordon's Hill, James was excited. The tracks were slippy and sliding. James cried, "This is the way to go fast!" James thought it was the best slide ever. Sometimes Gordon gets stuck on Gordon's Hill. The Express can be very heavy, even for a big, strong engine like Gordon. So Gordon's driver calls for Edward. Edward may be old, but he's the best back engine there is. Edward buffers up at the back of the Express. He huffs and he puffs. He shoves and he shunts. And he always gets Gordon up Gordon's Hill. There's another engine who thought he couldn't make it to the top. That's Toby. One day, Toby had to pull heavy milk trucks up Gordon's Hill. He puffed and he huffed until he got to the top, but it was hard work. Later that day, Gordon was stuck on the hill with the Express. Sir Topham Hatt sent Toby to be Gordon's back engine. Gordon groaned that Toby would never be able to push him to the top. He was only a steam tram. Toby didn't like being called only a steam tram. He thought of what his friend Thomas had told him. "You can do it, Toby," Thomas puffed. And Toby knew he could. Toby the steam tram pushed Gordon and the Express to the top of Gordon's Hill. So that's why Gordon's Hill is special for Toby. There are so many special places on the island of Sodor. Next time, Thomas will show us somewhere else.
Here are some dots. There are lots of engines on the Sodor Railway. If we join these dots, it will make the shape of one of them. Can you guess which engine it is? Off we go. There's the funnel. It's a tall one. And the dome? It's a large dome, isn't it? There's the cab. And the coal tender. Do you know which engine this is yet? Here are the wheels. And there are the buffers. It looks like a little engine, but it's an important one. That's right, it's Thomas. Hello, Thomas. Thomas and Percy are playing hide and seek. Percy is hiding from Thomas. Percy blows his whistle to help Thomas find him. When Thomas is close, Percy's whistle sounds very loud. When Thomas is far away, Percy's whistle sounds very quiet. Where should Thomas look first? At Knapford Station, Thomas listens to Percy's whistle. It sounds very quiet. Percy isn't hiding here. Where should Thomas look next? In Henry's tunnel. Thomas listens to Percy's whistle. It's louder, but it's still not very loud. Percy isn't there, but Thomas is getting closer. Where else can Thomas look? Tidmouth Sheds. Now Percy's whistle sounds very loud. Percy must be hiding in there. We found you, Percy. Well done, Thomas.
The fat controller had borrowed a diesel. He told Duck to show the new engine round, but Diesel made mistakes, and the trucks began singing cheeky songs about him. Trucks are waiting in the yard, tackling them with easel. Show the world what I can do, gaily boasts the Diesel. In and out he creeps about, like a big black weasel. When he pulls the wrong trucks out, pop goes the Diesel. Duck was cross and told the trucks to stop. But Diesel thought the song was Duck's fault. I'll pay him out, Diesel said to himself, but he couldn't think how. It's not fair, he complained to Henry, Gordon and James. I never get a moment's peace from these rude trucks, and it's all because of that Duck. Nonsense, said Henry. Duck would never do that. It would be disgraceful, put in Gordon. Disgusting, said James. Despicable, finished Henry. Diesel was not convinced. He spent the rest of the day wondering how he would get his own back. Next day, Henry's trucks chattered amongst themselves and paid no attention to him. They were very full and wanted to take it out on someone. Why not Henry? They whispered to each other. Wait until I give the word, said the front truck. At last, the signal went down. Come on, you, Henry ordered shortly. Reluctantly and still chattering, the trucks followed him out of the yard. All went well until they reached the top of the hill. Steady, Henry warned to the trucks. They heard, but they took no notice. Now, shouted the front truck. Go on, yelled the trucks, as, surging against Henry's tender, they pushed as hard as they could. Stop, wailed Henry, and his driver braked as hard as he dared. But Henry couldn't hold the heavy trucks properly. His wheels locked, and he slithered, out of control down the hill, with the stupid trucks cheering and shouting behind him. Help! Help! Whistled Henry despairingly. Thomas, waiting in the branch line platform, saw Henry coming, but could do nothing to help. But the hill ended before reaching the station, and Henry was at last able to bring the silly trucks under control. Gradually, his driver eased off the brakes. When he was sure that the trucks were behaving themselves, Henry came to a controlled stop. Phew, he said. What silly things trucks are. They could have caused an accident. Never mind, said Thomas. They didn't, and that's the main thing. You did well to stop them. Thomas puffed away. And after a while, Henry set off again. But something strange seemed to have happened to his wheels. Each time they went around, there was a clunk when they reached a certain spot. "What's that?" he asked after a while. "You've got a flat tyre," said the driver. "What?" objected Henry indignantly. "Engines don't get flat tyres. Only cars and lorries. And buses like Bertie get them." His driver laughed. "It's all the truck's fault," he explained. "All that sliding down the hill with your wheels locked in the same place has worn a flat place on each of your driving wheels. You'll have to go to the works, I'm afraid." They clunked to the end of the line and Henry went crossly to the shed. Duck was there, and Diesel. "What's the matter, Henry?" asked Duck. "Those trucks been playing you up, have they?" "Yes, they have," snorted Henry. "Pushed me down the hill, and now driver says I've got flat tyres." "Ah," said Duck. "Bumpy that. But you can't trust trucks, can you? Ah, well, I hope you get your flat sorted out all right." And he puffed off to see about the next train. Diesel sniggered. He'd just had an idea. Next day he spoke to the trucks. "That was a good trick you played on Henry," he said. "He's got flat tyres now and has gone to the works to have them replaced." He paused. "I shouldn't really tell you this," he went on quietly, "but I know you won't pass it on. Do you know Duck's new nickname for Henry? Old Square Wheels. Good, isn't it? Don't tell anyone I told you." The trucks promised, but as Duck had said, you cannot trust trucks. When Henry came back from the works, the whisper went around. "Here's Old Square Wheels," it said. "Old Square Wheels is back." As Diesel had expected, it was only a matter of time before the trucks told Henry that Duck had invented the nickname. "I'll give him Duck," Henry said furiously. "Just wait till I see him again." The truck sniggered, and Diesel smirked with satisfaction. "That worked well," he said to himself. "Now, what can I think up about Gordon?"
friends. Dive into fun. Yes! Catch Arthur.
And don't forget his trusty sidekick, Starchild!
You go, girl! Cool! Watch Arthur anytime on pbskidsgo.org. Coded messages from hackers.
Go on a Cyberchase.
What we need is one of those Decodertron gizmos. Way to go, Didge!
It's Cyberchase. Weekdays on PBS Kids Go, or watch anytime you want at pbskidsgo.org.